The Mclaren F1 is, at least in my opinion, probably the greatest technical achievement of all time when it comes to cars. Yes, the Veyron and the Ultimate Aero are faster, however the Veyron needs a quad turbocharged W16 engine with 1000 horsepower to get to its top speed, while the Ultimate Aero needs over 1200 horsepower to get to its. The McLaren has 627 horsepower, and yet its top speed is within 20 miles an hour of that of the Bugatti and the Aero. It's still, to this day, the fastest naturally aspirated car, and it achieves this by being very, very clever and utterly uncompromising. The engine bay, for example, is lined with gold to prevent the very hot exhausts from melting the carbon fibre body, and as far as I'm aware I haven't seen any other car that's done that yet. The F1 is also the first production car ever to have a carbon fibre monocoque chassis, and the whole car has been made to be incredibly light. The wheels are made from magnesium and the whole body is made from carbon fibre, and while that's relatively common on supercars today, this was unheard of 20 years ago. The driving position is different as well, and as far as I know is unique to the F1, having you sit in the middle. I can't imagine it's the most practical way of getting into a car, but it was designed to give a better driving experience, to give you better visibility, and I would presume, although I'm not 100% sure, it would give you better weight distribution since you're sat in the middle. This car was designed to be the ultimate driver's car, however, and not just for the top speed record. So what is it like to drive? Well, I have to say it's actually not that bad. Yes, it is twitchy, and through some of the high speed corners it can be a little bit unstable, leading to some scary sideways moments. But importantly, it doesn't just spin the wheels every time you put any power down like the Aero does, and it doesn't understeer everywhere like the Veyron, meaning you don't have to fight it constantly around the lap of a track. The brakes aren't bad either, which is good considering this car will get up some serious speed. And while yes, it costs 3 million credits, which is quite considerably more than the Bugatti and the Aero, it is the one that I would have. Would I call this the ultimate driver's car? Well, that's a tricky question, because how would you quantify driver's car? If you're looking for incredible cornering ability and probably the fastest lap times, then you're going to be looking at the Radical, the Lotus 211, maybe even the ACR Viper. But then again, none of them will hit 240 miles an hour on the straights. However, if you're looking for a combination of cornering ability and insane top speed, McLaren F1 is very hard to beat. And now, of course, it is time to hand the McLaren over to the stick and see what lap time he can get out of it. Now, expectation-wise, this is pretty much the same PI as the McLaren MP4. It is a sort of mid S-Class car, so I wouldn't expect this to be battling for the top spots. However, it should be within the top sort of 5 or 6. It should put in hopefully a pretty good time. Now, through the first corner, it's a little bit twitchy on the way in, but it's all kept under control. Up to Chicago, this is quite a tricky corner in this car because you pick up a lot more speed than you're expecting. Around here, it is looking nice and controlled actually. There's no oversteer, there's no understeer, which is always good to see. Now, again, down here, he's going very, very fast by the time you need to brake. And then again, heavy onto the brakes here, you can see the front of the car dipping down. Gets turned in nicely. Is there going to be any understeer like we saw with the Carrera? No, there isn't. It's kept nicely within the lines. On the exit, there's a little bit of sideways and it's a little bit twitchy through there, but I think the stick can't manage with. Now up through here, of course, he's going to have to brake because the car is phenomenally fast. Through the follow through, and it's looking quite composed actually. There's a little bit twitchy on the exit again. Through the tyre wall, it's incredibly fast. It's going sideways through here. He's kept his foot in, but it was still going sideways through the follow through. Up to the second to last corner now. And he gets turned in a little bit of understeer there. He missed the apex slightly, but didn't lose too much time. Around the last corner, and is it going to oversteer? No, he kept it on the track and didn't even go over the bump. And there we go. Now, the lap time for the McLaren is a 1:14.9, which amazingly it beats the MP4 12C. I was quite surprised by that. I mean, the McLaren is a very fast car, but I wasn't expected to get around the track quicker than the MP4. But there we go. It's a little bit behind the Carrera. Puts it in 6th on our leaderboard. So yeah, there we go, that is the McLaren F1. Now, if you want to see us review a car, then as ever, leave it in the comment section and we shall take a pick for next week. But that's it for this video, guys, so thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.